I would have thought. You can't smoke on duty, sir.
Properly turned out motorcycle rider, apart from his pipe.
And his boots. He hasn't got Don R boots, but apart from that, we'll let him go. There's another Sherman?
Yes, with different insignias on. That particular insignia is the Desert Rat. That's being towed by a Diamond T tank transporter, driven by William Britton Jones, and he drove that. He drove that down from Gloucestershire.
Superseded by the Antar.
Very much so.
But the Diamond T, if I remember, was petrol engine, was it?
No, petrol. But Diamond T, did it have the option of the Rolls-Royce petrol? They were generally Rolls-Royce diesels. But you may well be right.
Well, I only remember because my sister, sadly, who I lost 3 months ago, when she was 19, she...
Leyland Hippo there, sorry to interrupt.
No,
Leyland Hippo, followed by another Leyland Hippo. Lovely, hard-working diesel. Now, there we are. You'll like that, diesel. Leyland Hippo, British Army truck. It couldn't be anything but British with that front, could it?
Couldn't. No, her boyfriend was based in the military in the MT section at Arborfield, and he picked her up once in a Diamond T.
Now, on that lorry, you'll see the name Martha above the cab. The drivers very, very often gave their lorries and their jeeps the name of either their girlfriend or their wife or their loved one. And many of these vehicles had a name. And here we've got Martha, we've got Neddy, we've got Edith, we've got Boadicea. And in fact, Boadicea, you will see, is that Boadicea there? It is. We've got Boadicea in view. And Spike Milligan, funnily enough, asked to have Boadicea for an event because he was in the 50th Regiment Royal Artillery. And he asked to have that to one of their meetings in 1992. And there's some lovely pictures of Spike Milligan being driven around in Boadicea that you've got on the screens now.
The condition of these vehicles is incredible.
It is, isn't it?
The amount of time and effort that must go into not only restoring them in the first place, but maintaining them in those conditions. How many weekends would these guys appear across a normal season? When I say normal, advisedly, you know?
Well, every weekend. I mean, they work on their vehicles every weekend, and if they're not working on them, they're taking them to events.
There's the Fortune N.
Isn't that lovely?
It is.
With the bomb on the back.
There's the bomb on the back, yeah. 5-valve TDO tractor.
There's one very rare vehicle here that we'll pick up on, and I'll tell you what it is when we see it. It's a Humber reconnaissance car for a crew of 3, and they dug it up. They dug this vehicle up and have been buried for, I think he said, 25 years. And I'll tell it, but they dug it up and they've rebuilt it completely.
Incredible.
And there are only two known of. The little Daimler Dingo there.
How much of this hardware is still undiscovered? Well, that's a ridiculous question because you won't know because you haven't discovered it yet. But is there stuff out there still to be found?
It's a jolly interesting question, that, because in a very large building in the Alps in Italy, they discovered 14 staghounds that had never been used, and that was only 18 years ago.
Goodness me.
Another lovely little Daimler Dingo there. In the background, a very, very rare Fordson V8 lorry.
Daimler, of course, was an independent brand then, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And did these military vehicles incorporate any of the refinements that the cars had, for example, fluid flywheel or anything like that?
Yes, the Dingo did. It's a very good point, that. The Dingo did, and one or two of the drivers who jumped into the Dingos had a bit of a problem with 5 forward speeds and 5 reverse speeds.
Yeah.
And having to engage the gears before you actually let the clutch up.
Pre-select and fluid flywheel.
Pre-select, fluid flywheel, etc.
Which is the nearest thing that we have to automatic today.
Absolutely. Interesting thing on the front of this Dodge that we're looking at is that bar sticking up. And that bar sticking up was fitted to many of the British vehicles because our enemy used to put wires across the roads.
Yeah.
And if